Hey guys, Liquid here, and welcome back to Let's Answer Some Questions. As always, post questions below, and I will answer them next week. Let's get started. Have you ever read, Red Robin asks, have you ever read any Ultimate Spider-Man comics? I have not. My only real experience with the Ultimate Spider-Man series was, there was that game, the game that came out, I believe, in 2005 or so, which, was quite a good game. I really enjoyed it. See my Let's Play for more information on that. And I want to say I did watch an episode or two of that. There was an Ultimate Spider-Man show, like back in 2012 or something. But other than that, I've had very little experience with it. Red Hood 440 asks, "What is your What is your earliest memory?" Earliest that I can, definitively say happened, or that I'm not misremembering or something. I've got a lot of early memories from early childhood, but I'm not really sure. I can't really rank them in front of in order. But I remember being 2, 3 years old and just living not really too many actual significant moments, but just living in the house that we had lived in and whatnot. Um, I actually I remember I was probably 2 years old or something, where I remember my folks sitting me down and teaching me that when you shake your head vertically, that means yes. When you shake your head horizontally, that means no. I remember sitting across from them, they were like, this means yes, this means no. That's probably a fairly early memory. I remember I remember playing NES in this one room we had. I remember playing McKids. Um, I remember doing honestly, I remember a time when I was not potty trained, where I remember coming home from a beach or something, and it being sunburnt, and I remember going to the bathroom to sit on the potty and seeing that I was all sunburnt or something. Um, and the one thing, I could go on of a lot of early memories that I've got, but one thing that I hesitated to mention was the thing is that if you tell people this, most people will shut you down and say, oh, yeah, you're not really, you just think you remember that, but you don't really remember it. Is To me, I have a memory that I associate with being born. I just remember a lot of commotion, and I remember a bluish light. That's all I can really describe it as. But for some reason, I just seem to recall that sensation and think that that was me being born. So take that how you will. Peace Eagle asks, "Where do you see yourself at the age of 35?" Hmm. See, when I first read this question, I actually thought it said 35 years from now, which would have been a very different thing. 35 years, the age 35, right? So we got about 13 years, I suppose. Which, reversing that, I always like to, when I think of distances and time, I try to think of that on the reverse, where trying to let's do math here. If I was 9 years old, I would have been 13 years ago. So when I think of that was quite a while ago. It seems like. So by the age of 35, I could do a lot. But what exactly do I see myself? Perhaps I don't know, just I don't really see myself in any sort of like fantastic thing, but maybe just like living a fairly stable life and whatnot. S Sneaky Viper asks, "What's your opinion on the fact that game developers are focusing too much on multiplayer rather than good single player experiences?" Now, I'm gonna be honest with you, this is something that I don't really have too much of a take on because I really haven't played that many new games in a very long time. Um, but to me, I guess I sort of do lament like good long single player experiences. Like not that I think that they're hard to come by or anything, but something like Call of Duty, the focus is going to be on multiplayer rather than single player, which personally I actually do quite enjoy the single players in Call of Duties. Um, so I'm not, what's the point I'm trying to make here? Um, to me, I don't really care too much, honestly. Like, I think it sort of is a, I think it's a problem. I think it's an issue that'll sort itself out, or maybe even already has, where the things that are going to be catering to the multiplayer people will cater to the multiplayer people, and the things that will cater to the single player people will cater to the single player people. That's my take. Do Bob asks, "What do you think about Family Guy?" Um, I from what I've seen of it, like it seems all right. I haven't really watched it too much. I know like I've seen enough of it to like know who the characters are and whatnot, but I've not watched it in many years. Back when I was like, because I remember like watching it like with like some friends every now and then, like seeing like an episode here or there, back in like elementary, middle school. Um, I remember this friend was telling me about uh like I want to say like I remember being like in middle school or something when there was like a Star Wars special, and I remember like people talking about that. I think there was this episode where there was like a cookie monster thing where like he's like being detained by doctors or something, and I remember like a fellow telling me about that. Like other than stuff like that, I don't really I've never really watched it on my own time. Um, but I guess for what it is, like it seems like it's an interesting little thing. Same thing with like other sort of quote unquote adult cartoons like South Park. Like South Park. I can't even really name the characters, but I know that's another popular one that one I've just really never even watched at all. Um, like there's also stuff like Bob's Burgers, which I've never seen. I have no idea what it's about. I'm assuming it's about a guy named Bob and hamburgers. There's Rick and Morty, which I know is like very popular at the moment, but I'm not. Again, I have no idea what it's about other than imagine it's about a fella named Rick and a fella named Morty. I think there was American Dad. I think was another one, but that one at least I have seen a little bit of. Um, like I've seen but I couldn't name the characters or anything. But back on topic. Family Guy. I guess it's an alright little thing. But I just never really watched it. But that is all the questions at this time. Post questions below, and I shall answer them next week. And also, just for people who have stuck around this far, um, be stay tuned because I've been experimenting. Not really experimenting, but I've been thinking about possibly doing some live streams, um, like as in instead of like recording my Let's Plays as the way that I have been, I would stream them and then upload the archive. So stay tuned to that. If that does come to fruition, it probably wouldn't be for another few weeks or so. But yeah, that's something that I'm putting out there. But hope you guys enjoyed. Till next time, Liquid out.